introduce himself very quickly, and then Kim, if you could introduce the school, and then we can start with the questions.
Will do.
All right, cool. So, should I start?
Please.
Okay, I hope you can see and hear me well. And good to see everyone. And my name is Niklas Zennström. I am founder of many companies. The one that you probably know most of is Skype. And I've also started a few other companies before that. But today what I do is I work with entrepreneurs to help them to build their businesses. So I invest in them. We have an investment company called Atomico. And because all companies, to build a company, you also need not only great people, but also need some money. So we're investing in companies and we're helping them to build up the companies to become successful. And this is the first time I'm using Google Hangout, because usually I would use Skype. So so that's what. But to speak to you guys and to see you, I'm quite happy to do that.
Okay.
Thank you for making that exception, Niklas.
Google's pretty okay, actually.
Kim, would you like to introduce the school, please, and then start with the first question?
Will do. We're from Bridgewater High School in Warrington, Cheshire. I'm Mrs. Harding, and I teach GCSE computer science, and all these pupils behind me here are all taking GCSE computer science.
Perfect.
We've just started taking it. We did wonder, actually, why we weren't using Skype as well.
I was wondering as well.
Right, I'll start off with the first question then.
Hi, I'm just wondering if you're going to give any advice to someone who would want to take a career in computer science and coding. What would your advice be?
First, I would certainly say that it's a very good choice. It's software becomes more and more important in our lives, and I truly believe that software is going to change the whole world, and so whether you work with software or not with software, software becomes very, very important. So that's great to to make that decision to study computer science is a very, very good start, because then I think you will have a great lot of opportunities going forward, in the future. So, and then what advice in terms of things to do? I think is also the other thing is also with being kind of if you're becoming a coder or a programmer or with computer science, I think it's also important to have a diversity to also understand other parts of because software is about using software to make a great product. So if you can also learn as much as possible about how users, how people behave, that's also very important. So spend time kind of understanding people behavior. So I would actually think about taking some classes that is outside of computer science, like maybe a little bit of psychology, maybe, and also design is important to combine, so you can make beautiful software that's easy to use.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I understand that you had trouble getting people to invest in Skype.
Yes.
How did you persuade the investors in the end?
I did. We made sure our product was really good. So it wasn't until we had a product that really worked, that the software really worked, that it could see and it could hear because it could use it. So instead of trying to raise money before you have something, if you have a prototype, then you're more likely to get funding. But that's also today it's also good because it's easier. It doesn't require so much money to start a company. So if you're a computer scientist, you can actually start with developing a software, a prototype that you can show your investors and maybe get a few customers or users. Then it will be easier to raise money.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you had any projects that have failed, and why do you think they have failed?
Many. many projects have failed. Many, I think Skype was the fourth company that I started or were part of starting. So before that, we started a company called Kazaa, which was file sharing, which was very, very popular. We had, I think 400 million downloads and massive amount of traffic. But we never managed to make it a financially viable business. So ultimately it failed as a company. The software was very successful, but the business failed. So, but I didn't really look at that as a failure because I learned so much from that experience for my next company. And then the third company then became Skype. So I don't think I would have been successful building Skype if I wouldn't have some failures before. So I think it is very important to not look at failure as failure, but something that you can gain experience from.
Okay, thanks.
Hi.
Hello.
There aren't many women in the computing sector. Why do you think that is, and how would you go about changing that?
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I think it's a pity because I think that computer science is fun and it leads to great opportunities in terms of career options. Today, very good software engineers, they get very well paid, and it's also, we did some research in my company, and we looked at really, really successful software companies, the ones that become, like the Skypes or Google or, something like Airbnb, the ones that become very successful. And we found out, we haven't looked how many of them are led by women versus men, but what we did find out was that 82% of them are led by computer science engineers or founders who are very focused on understands computer science. So I think that's the solution, right? If you're whether you're a man or a woman, you should, if you study computer science, you have a great opportunity to build some amazing companies, and you also have an opportunity to get good jobs. But I think we should encourage more women to learn to code and take computer science because it's a great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask if you're working on anything new at the moment.
Well, what I do now is like, in order to have success with something, I truly believe that you need to be very focused. And what I'm doing now is I'm working with my company Atomico, and we are helping entrepreneurs. So I'm not myself starting any businesses. I'm now helping other entrepreneurs to be successful with their businesses. So you should not expect that I will, release any cool software anytime soon.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Sorry.
Hiya. I was wondering, how did you feel when Time magazine identified you as one of the most influential men in the world?
Well, of course, I was a bit overwhelmed, as you can imagine, and I thought they exaggerated a little bit, actually. So, and of course, I was very happy and very pleased. I think my parents were probably more proud of me than than anything else. But this also shows that today that you can really, if you think about it, this is just some very simple software that enables people to, in this case, talk to each other, and that can go out and really change an entire industry and really make it possible for people to speak to each other, families and friends, and it had a big impact for the telecom companies. So software can really change the world.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Which of your many projects do you enjoy doing the most?
Well, That's a good one. I think usually the one I'm doing for the moment. I think it's when if you do a project, or you try to build a business, you have to love it at the moment. So, whenever you do something, you should really enjoy. If you have passion about what you're doing and really enjoy it, then you get into the flow of it, and then you can become successful. But of course, for me, when we were building Skype, we had a big success with it. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But there were also many days which were very difficult and very challenging. There is, to build a business it's not trivial. It can be a lot of challenges, but on the overall, it was great experience. And sometimes, of course, because if you have a successful business, you have a successful outcome. But many businesses, maybe they're failing, but there's still a good experience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. I was just wondering, where do you think Skype will be in 10 years?
Good question. When we started Skype, it's now 12 years since Skype was launched, and the vision we had was that we wanted to create the software that can connect people all around the world, and we wanted it to be a long-lasting, online company. And it can exist in 10 years. There's no reason it shouldn't exist, because it really solves a big pain point and a big problem for people to communicate and to stay connected. But as long as the Skype team, I'm not involved with Skype anymore, but as long as the team continue to innovate, then Skype will be around, and hopefully there will be. What I think will happen though over in 10 years is that because of increased computing power, better broadband connections, and smarter software, we will have much better audio and video experience. And the vision was always to eliminate the technology between people, because even now today, of course, we're using Google, so it's not so good, but you still have a limited. The experience is not the same as being in person, and that would be something I think in 10 years should be almost achievable in terms of having an experience that is almost as good as in person.
Okay, thanks.
Hello. Why do you think Skype is so successful?
Because it was simple program, simple software to use, and it really solved a problem for people. People want to connect and to communicate with each other. And when we launched, there was really no good video or voice over IP or internet telephony software that worked. That was very simple to use. So what we did, we had some very, very good technology, or some very, very good underlying software technology based on peer-to-peer, but we also made sure it was easy to use. So when we developed the software, we did a mom test. We tested it on our on our mothers and our sisters. If they could figure out how to use it, we thought it would be successful. So it's about powerful technology, but making it easy to use. That's what it's all about.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We have time for one last question.
All right.
Last question to ask. Kane, do you want to go and ask?
Okay.
Anybody? No, we've run out of questions as well. I think I don't think we've got any more questions ready for them, but we've had a fantastic time. Thank you very much for giving up your time.
My pleasure.
Questions. These are all year 10, so they've got another year to go. So the 2-year course we're doing in GCSE Computer Science. So. That's
great. So can I just ask them for a favor? When you go out and start your companies and they become very successful, you need to give me a call so I can get a chance to invest.
Yeah, sure, they will do, sir.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. A big round of applause for Niklas. Thank you for your time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.